Warm greetings to all the learners. In this video, we are going to learn about the incentives and subsidies. The term incentives, subsidies, and bounties all look to be the same. So first we need to understand the meaning and the differences between these terms. Incentives and subsidies are government-provided financial and promotional assistance to industries. Incentives include concessions, subsidies, and bounties. They are granted to industries that are considered essential to the national interest. Incentives encourage prospective entrepreneurs to take up industrial ventures and results in decentralization of economic power in few hands. Incentives need not always be in monetary form. It can also be business advice and training, technical assistance, professional services, access to innovation space and networks. Let's now understand the meaning of subsidies. Subsidy means a single lump sum of money that is given by a government to an entrepreneur to cover the cost. A subsidy is a benefit given to an individual, business, or institution, usually by the government. It can be direct, such as cash payment, or indirect, such as tax breaks. The subsidy is typically given to remove some type of burden, and it is often considered to be the overall interest of the public, given to promote a social good or an economic policy. Let's now understand the meaning of bounties. The term bounty denotes bonus or financial aid that is given by a government to industry to help it compete with other units in the home market or in a foreign market. Bounty offers benefits to a particular industry, while a subsidy is given in the interest of the nation. Let's now see the need for incentives and subsidies. To generate more employment. Subsidies cause the movement of entrepreneurs from developed areas to developing or backward areas. In short, incentives and subsidies serve as a catalyst to start a dynamic process of employment. To promote entrepreneurship. When incentives and subsidies are given to entrepreneurs, it encourages them to take up new ventures. It may be in the form of industrial estates, availability of power, concessional finance, capital investment subsidy, transport subsidy, etc. To remove regional disparities in development. Industries may be concentrated or overcrowded in some regions. To remove this disparity, incentives are given to entrepreneurs to start their own ventures in backward areas. Through this, the imbalances get corrected. To provide competitive strength, survival, and growth. Sometimes incentives have to be given for the survival and growth of the industries. Concessional finance and tax relief is given for this, whereas reservation of certain products, price preferences is given for improving the competitive strength among the entrepreneurs. Let's now see the advantages of incentives and subsidies. They encourage the entrepreneur to start industries in backward areas. They help to develop new enterprises which lead to economic development. They make the entrepreneur face competition successfully. They act as a motivational force that makes the potential entrepreneur enter into business activities. They help the government to get a balanced regional development. They help to reduce the overall problems of small-scale entrepreneurs. Let's now see what are the types of subsidies available. Broadly, there are two types of subsidies: direct subsidy and indirect subsidy. In the case of direct subsidy, funds are paid from one party to another. Whereas in the case of indirect subsidy, instead of cash, subsidies are provided as tax benefits or reduction in the prices of goods and services. The other types of subsidies are production subsidy, consumption subsidy, import and export subsidy, employment subsidy, subsidies based on industry, and tax subsidy. Let's look at them one by one. Production subsidy. As the name suggests, production subsidies allowed the companies to reduce the cost of production. Now the products can be made available to the customers at affordable cost. Consumption subsidy. Consumption subsidies are also given to reduce the cost of goods and services. In most cases, they are attached to items under the ambit of basic needs. In India, the government provides free ration to the economically weaker sections. Import and export subsidy. This is another form of financial aid given to promote foreign trade. Employment subsidy. They are schemes designed to tackle unemployment. The government designs incentives for organizations to enable companies to extend more job opportunities. It may be in the form of subsidized real estates or lower initial investment cost of setting up a company. Subsidies based on industry. Most subsidies are tailored to suit the demands of the sector they are aimed at. For example, transport subsidies are extended by making public transport available at nominal cost to the general public. Tax subsidy. Here, the subsidies are given in the form of tax rebate and tax holidays. Tax holiday is given for a period of 5 years from the commencement of production. Now let us look at the advantages of subsidies. It helps in lowering the prices and controlling the inflation. When subsidies are given, it helps them to reduce their production cost. When global crude oil prices were rising, many countries subsidized fuel cost in order to keep the prices from rising. It also prevents the long-term decline of industries. There are many industries which should be kept alive and functional, such as fishing and farming, because they are essential to support the population. It helps in a greater supply of goods. When the government wants to increase the access of goods and services, such as water, food, and education, to the general public, it may provide incentives in the form of tax credit. There are some disadvantages of subsidies too. Let us look at them. It may result in shortage of supply. When subsidies are increased, it results in greater demand for the goods due to lower prices. Due to this, a shortage of supply may occur. Ultimately, it can lead to higher demand that causes an increase in the prices. There may be difficulty in measuring the success. Subsidies are usually given to support the business and prevent losses, but it is hard to quantify and measure the success of the subsidies. It may also result in higher taxes. How will the government raise funds to provide subsidies? It is through the taxes imposed on the general population and corporations who provide the means to enable the government to subsidize the industries. Hope this video has helped you to understand more about incentives and subsidies. Thank you.